I want to show you the difference between active prose and, passive prose. Let's use Ramsey Campbell's The Parasite. Did you hear me? Her mother called. I said, Wendy's here. And all at once it was too late. The night had crept up on her and she didn't want to go. This is more of a passive prose, as in, it's not bad. It sounds like a recanting, like a bonfire, story you would tell, to campers or whatever. Nothing wrong with it. Definitely works. Tells the story. Very cryptic. But is that, more fun? Does it have that kind of, get you into that, whoa? The next example is Thomas Harris, The Silence of the Lamb. Behavioral science, the FBI section that deals with serial murder, is on the bottom floor of the Academy building at Quantico, half burned in the earth. Clarice Starling reached it flushed after a fast walk from Hogan's Alley on the firing range. She had grass in her hair and grass stains on her FBI Academy windbreaker from diving to the ground under fire, and an arrest problem on the range. This prose sounds more active, more immediate, like this isn't something that happened. This is something that's happening. You know what I mean? Big difference, because when you're reading something, you gotta be it could be like I said, a recanting type of story, or it could be like a newsreel. That's what goes into how important Hemingway, really changed the way we tell fiction, because the whole aesthetic is that you're not telling a story in a voice that it already happened. You're telling a story in the way this just in, it's happening right now, and human beings tend to clue in. It's like, oh, this is happening. What is happening? It's very engaging. It's way more engaging. There's definitely uses for passive voice, and there's definitely uses for active voices. I don't think you should avoid passive voice, but you should definitely use it, appropriately. Going into depth about a character, or something about the environment, how she walks into the room that looked like it had been a thousand years of accumulated dirt and grime in every corner, insects that at once were living but now dead, now piling up in a corner. I don't know. As you can see, I actually have a more active kind of voice in general. But you could also see that the passive voice is you could definitely be more poetic, more almost this horrible thing that happened. It was so terrible, it was so awful, that the ramifications of it are still felt, decades after. Active voice would start the story there. It would literally, the horrible thing wouldn't be referred to and recanted to the reader. It would just happen before the reader, which is what most, when you hear the term show don't tell, that's what they mean. Passive voice is telling you something important. Active voice is showing you something important. Very good tools. You should never throw one out over the other, but you should definitely know where each fit for each situation. Very appropriate.